talking about another film that if it's not a submission, then I don't know what they're doing because we're definitely hoping.
Francis submission, baby.
Is it officially? Okay, great.
Yes, sir.
Good to know. Let's talk about Saint Omer, where at Saint Omer Court of Law, a young novelist attends the trial of an immigrant woman accused of killing her 15-month-old daughter. This is a stark, gripping courtroom drama with a patient lens. Art, what was your takeaway from Saint Omer?
This was a movie that we saw after driving 13 hours and getting no sleep, watching Corsage, walking around in Manhattan, sitting down, and sitting through a 2 hour and what is it, 2 minute movie that is meant to feel like a documentary.
Mm-hmm.
This is a film that takes its time. And I found it absolutely riveting.
Yeah.
This is a movie in where someone will be speaking and you're still over here before it gets to where the where the plaintiff is. This is a movie where a shot will be going on and you'll look down at double digit numbers that have passed and you're wondering when are they going to cut to the next thing. You'll be sitting there wondering, is this supposed to be fictional? Is this based off something? And in my research, I found out that there was a woman who in France went to court because of this exact incident. The director then appeared in court and started taking notes just like the main character you see right there in the banner. And it was in that court case that she was taking in a lot of what was happening and the nuances, not just dealing with what led to the event, but what got them there.
Right.
What stuff dealing with the person's mother came into play that led them there, and how was she relating that to herself and stuff that she had with her mother and with her becoming a mother as well. Now, the character in the movie isn't supposed to be Alice, the director herself, as she stated, but I think it's a fascinating viewpoint at this wavelength of maternity. And there's obviously, it really is a whole court case. With her having been being a documentarian, she had stated that there is no difference in her mind a documentary and a fiction film. Because in a documentary, you can have real people who are lying to you because they know the cameras are on. And in a fiction film, you have liars, actors who are trying their best to give you the truth. So if your whole point when you're cutting up a documentary and leaving certain things out and leaving things in, it's to formulate a narrative. You're formulating a narrative with this feature as well. It's very patient. There's a difference between slow movies and patient movies. A lot of people, when I talk about things and I say it's slow, they're like, you're just not patient. I'm like, no. We're patient. This is just slow.
Right.
This is one where it is being as patient as possible because you are learning new things of the court case extremely latently. Like whatever you think is happening in the first act is not happening in the second act, is not happening in the third act. This is one that I have on my rewatch schedule because as of right now, it is in my top 3. As of right now, I don't know if I could recommend it to everyone publicly because again, it goes at a very
gingerly pace,
exactly.
Yeah.
But there is a look that 2 characters have in this movie, and Zach, I haven't felt those goosebumps since Whiplash.
Oof. Yeah, one of the things that you mentioned to me when we left this film was just how striking it is, how much time is spent watching the character who's not speaking in a scene. And that's a directorial choice that you'll see directors make occasionally because, sometimes the most interesting thing isn't what somebody's saying, but how somebody's reacting to what somebody's saying.
Sir.
But it even goes beyond that into really, really being this observational film. And because it is this intensely interesting courtroom drama that is extremely complex, and they're able to keep adding layers of messiness and intrigue and elements of memory and motherhood and racism and misogyny and attitudes towards the disenfranchised and immigrants. There's just all these things piled on top of each other. It's just so rich with subtext and meaning and real world weight to this story. I just thought this was just such a meal of a movie. There's so much to dig into and to chew on and to think about and to puzzle over. And one of the things that I really loved about it is that the movie isn't necessarily looking to give you this clean resolution. It's a court case, but it's not really a film about who's innocent and who's guilty, or what is the right thing to do, what went wrong and what could have solved this all. It's a film that is more interested in in commenting on the reality that these characters are dealing with, because it's a reality that lots of people are dealing with. And I thought that Alice Diop's approach here was absolutely fascinating. I was riveted. I could not look away
It's
from
great, yeah,
Saint Omer.
because it's shot like literally in the longest dialogue sequences that you could possibly have. But as Zach said, it's like you have a woman up there because she may have killed a 15-month-old baby, but what's really on display, what they're really arguing about in court, is everybody's prejudices,
Yes.
and the way that it's able to turn into different things that they're arguing in court is absolutely fascinating. I really do highly recommend it. It is one of my favorites out of the fest. You will need some patience with it, but I think it
Yeah.
is definitely worth it. And I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of our other movies because We has been on my watch list for a minute,
Hmm.
and I know that that played a couple of the rounds of festivals. And after this one, I'm there for it. I want to see what she does with her documentaries, and I want to see her do more narrative features.
Totally.